Thank you for waking up with Happy Eyes, where we come together to grow in mind, body, and spirit so we can in turn make the world a brighter and sweeter place for ourselves and others. Well, I'm super excited. It's kind of a week late because I was still getting this podcast studio together, but I am so happy you're here. Angela, I met you through Habitat for Humanity, but I'm going to say a few words to describe you. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like to do that. I love adjectives. Okay, you are effervescent. Mm-hmm. You have got the most beautiful, well, that's not really an adjective, but I don't care. You got this very inviting, beautiful smile. So inviting.
Thank you.
You're inviting. You're warm. Mm-hmm. You're approachable. You're generous. Have a very generous spirit. Mm-hmm. And I think other people feel it besides me. So can you think of any other adjectives that I could use to describe you?
No, I love all those, though.
When my husband was alive, we would write a note to each other. We say, dear, courageous, amazing, brilliant, honorable. We would always put a bunch of adjectives in front of it because I think we forget sometimes to honor people and what we do. And one of the things you do, probably one of the most impressive things, the most amazing things, the most giving things, is you are the CEO for Habitat for Humanity. Mm-hmm. So,
which is pretty rewarding.
It is. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. It has to be so rewarding. So tell me two things. How long have you done that? Mm-hmm. And what in the world made you do this? What got you involved with Habitat for Humanity?
I've been with Habitat for about 4.5 years now here at the Habitat in Bay County, Florida. I did work at a Habitat in upstate New York prior to moving here for about a year. So the thing I loved most about Habitat and why I applied for the position was the sense of community. You know, even the mission of Habitat is bringing people together to build homes, hope, and community. And I know you've seen and been a part of that. And you stand around at a home dedication, you go onto the build site, and that you feel that mission and work because, you know, the homeowners are out there doing their sweat equity. So there's that hope and what they're going to get out of it. You know that the sense of community, you see all the volunteers there and then building homes. That's what we're doing, you know, so everything we do involves the community. Mm-hmm.
And it's so beautiful. I know we Beachy Beach went one day and did the build, and it was so amazing. But what's even more amazing than that, like you said, is when you dedicate the home, when the people and you present the home to them. Yeah. Okay. This is what I got to ask you. How does anybody not cry when you do that? It chokes me up.
For myself, I think that it's mixed with so much joy too, because I've got to watch them go through that process to get to that point. It's awesome, but at the same time, I've just got so much happiness for them.
So I know that y'all just recently, you wanted to get here to talk about the women's bill, but now it's already happened. So kind of tell me what that was about. So all the women showed up. I'm so aggravated I couldn't do that, but I'm in my season of carting teenagers everywhere. So I'm not in my season of doing as much that I would like to. I have to get the word out in other ways. So tell me about that day, the Women's Build.
So it was our third annual Women Build. And what I love about Women Build, we just do it once a year. It's the only fundraiser that we do. And so people pay to participate in that. And it's just like a girl power day. A lot of pink swag, our pink t-shirts like I have on today. Yeah. Sometimes we don't. Well, a lot of times women don't get taught those skills. So to be able to go out there and put up walls to a home, literally framing, or to hold that nail gun and be putting siding on and stuff, that's empowering for women. And it happened to be Women International Women's Week or Day, and then Women in Construction Week. So like all of it just came together perfectly. So that's why we do it this time of year each year. But it's pretty exciting, pretty empowering, and pretty awesome. And the homeowners are always out there too. And so it's empowering for them as well.
I don't want to miss that again. I cannot miss that again. That sounds so exciting. When we did it, I had the nail gun, and all my people said, "Oh no, don't give Karen the nail gun. We don't give her any tools. You know, we barely let her hold a pencil." Yeah, so no, but that was really, really cool, and it felt special to be a part of it. Well, one of my affinities for Habitat for Humanity is that I loved Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter, and I actually got to meet them. And they were very involved since 1984 with Habitat for Humanity. And so I finally got to go and be a part of his Sunday school class and meet him. And I just, when people who have stuff take the time to help others, to me, that's everything. It's everything. I was listening to Arthur Brooks this morning. He's a great writer and philosopher. And he said that really, until you can pour your heart and your life into the lives of others, it's kind of hard to be happy if you don't do that. What made you want to do this? What made, you've been with Habitat for Humanity for a while. What led up to that? What things have you done in your life? What inside of you made you want to be a part of Habitat for Humanity?
So I've always been a nonprofit. So a lot of people don't realize I used to be a foster child.
Oh.
So being a foster child, I had to also rely on community and programs and services to help make me, and the person that I am. And that's similar for a lot of our homeowners even too. They don't have that strong family support system. But it was community for me. So it's something dear to my heart. And I've worked in the nonprofit field in different areas and stuff. But like I said, Habitat is one of my favorite because of that just wide range of ways that you can give back in different ways, but all leads to also that stability of a home, where I was in 3 different foster homes. I was also lived with my mom for a while, lived with my dad for a while, so kind of traveled around. And so I understand a lot of people talk about the stability and all of that with it, but they don't relate to the sense of belonging too. I also changed school districts a lot. And as a teenager, that's rough. I changed that a lot when I changed foster homes as well. And so when the homeowners, the biggest word they say is stability, like I can get that, but I also get being able to lay your roots down somewhere in that sense of belonging. And for us, we also additionally Habitat offers to them, they get to see that community come forward for them. So when they see that happen, it even more makes them feel a part of that community.
Well, what I love about Habitat for Humanity that a lot of nonprofits, and I've been involved in a lot, not from working there, but from a giving standpoint, because my whole company was built on giving back. People used to tease us and say, Beachy Beach, is it a real estate company or is it a charitable organization? And I go, we're both, we better be both. You better be giving back to God and community who've given to you. It's how to have a happy life. But the one thing I've noticed about Habitat that's different than a lot of other organizations is the people who get the home then become the people who give the home. Yeah. They're there and they do sweat equity and they work and they do things. So they're a part of it. Yeah. They're part of the giving back. And I think that is so amazing. And what Habitat does that others don't do, I was thinking about this as I'm talking to you, is Habitat allows you to really be involved. It's something, you can write a check, you can go to a fundraiser, but you actually get to nail a hammer. Use a hammer and do a nail. And I know, what Ashley's going to tell me to do in a minute, y'all? These earrings are adorable and they look so cute with my little outfit from Gypsy Willow, one of my sweet little sponsors. But Ashley, you were going to get on to me for this, weren't you?
Actually, I wasn't. They were quiet.
Never mind then. Never mind. I get in trouble sometimes for my jewelry. So, okay. But that was a fun, natural plug for Gypsy Willow. So we'll just go back to it. But I just happen to have, Angela, a Pepsi behind my back. So I want to thank Pepsi, Buffalo Rock Pepsi, for being my #1 premium sponsor for my Happy Ass Life. They make it possible that I get to bring this to the airwaves on all the different platforms. I get to pay my people. I don't have to pull it all out of my pocket anymore. Praise the Lord. And also to Holiday Beach Rentals and Mechanical. They're in my house all the time fixing stuff. I know, but I've got a brand new sponsor that I got to tell you about. And I'm going to not just tell you about the sponsor, Ferrucci's Restaurante. I don't know if I said that right. I'm Southern, so I'm not good at that. But I asked Minta, I said, Minta, what are your favorite things? What are your favorite things at your restaurant? And she told me that if she has to pick, it's snapper piccata, and they get it fresh daily from the Tarpon Dock. And the second would be their hand-cut steaks. So I think I'm going to go for it really soon. I'm going to take Ashley to lunch there, and we'll have a working lunch. That'll be fun. So I'll thank a few more of my sponsors a little bit later. I want to hear more from Angela. So Angela, I love that you told me that why you did this. There's always a why behind where people land. There really is. And sometimes you don't know it till you're older. Sometimes you have that aha moment. Sometimes you know, and it's what propels you there. When you walked in the door, I saw you had a butterfly on. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I'm in my butterfly era right now. I'm probably going to be talking about that on my next podcast, actually. But I asked you, and I want you to tell the story of, was that just a pretty butterfly, or was there a reason why you chose a butterfly necklace?
Well, I think that just in general, a lot of times girls like butterflies.
Yes, we do.
But for me, as I got older, I remember the day that my grandfather passed, or not the day my grandfather passed away, the day I left after, we had the services and all that. I was the last person to leave, and my grandma lives in a very rural area in Pennsylvania and almost 100 acres of land. And so there's hunting cabins down the road and stuff, but people aren't there all the time. So I really felt like I was just leaving her on her own by herself, being the last one to leave. As I was pulling down the long driveway and pulling out, I got to the bottom, and just these monarchs from both sides, it was like a dozen from both sides, just kind of came down and like gave me that feeling and sense, and it's okay to go. She's okay. And so I got to have that peace, and so the butterflies did that. So I'll always remember that. So now they're even closer to my heart, but they do, show or signify like change and all of that too. So
yeah, growth and change and all those things. And
it's important in all our lives.
Yeah, sometimes we want to stay in the little cocoon. But nothing. Well, things happen in the cocoon, but we can't go out and do things in the world if we stay in the cocoon. So I'm thinking a lot of that now. But so you've been here in Florida for 4 years?
No, so I moved to Florida about 4 months before Hurricane Michael.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah.
And so when you moved here, Hurricane Michael, were you working somewhere?
So I was at United Way for my first 3 years.
Okay. I think I knew that. Yeah. I knew that because I used to be on one of the boards, United Way, where we chose who got the money. Okay. When you do the budget thing and stuff. And that's the only time anybody invited me to a budget meeting. Actually, I'm lying. I have to go to them all the time now, but I don't like them. I'm really good at spending money. I'm not really good at figuring out where it's supposed to go and what you do with it. I'm not great at that. So you moved here. You moved from New York?
Upstate New York.
From upstate New York. Okay. And so what do you think about, that's a big difference there, Angela, between upstate New York and here?
It's not, though.
Really?
You're
because it's out in the country. That's right, because it's in the country. So you're right. So
the city, where a lot of people see the city, New York City, that's more like Miami. Upstate, where I'm from, is actually very similar to this.
Wow. Yeah. Except they talk funny. Or we talk funny.
Yeah, either one way or the other, yeah.
I'm just kidding. My friends, when I would go to New York, people would just laugh at me, make fun, especially Jersey. The Jersey people go, say that again, and they thought it was hilarious. And then somebody will apologize. I said, no, I don't mind a bit. You can tease me about my voice. I don't care. So when you moved here, of course, you're moving from, what did you like about moving here? What are the things that you enjoyed about our community? Because I love our community. I love it. What do you like about our community?
I love the sense of community.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's pretty miraculous.
Yeah, and then of course, obviously, the beaches are beautiful. I mean, the springs are beautiful. I think there's a lot of treasures around here, and I think sometimes even the locals forget. They don't get out there like, I live here and I'll go to the beach and stuff, but get out there and do it.
I know. I went to the beach this last weekend. On Saturday, I can't remember what day, but the kids, I had one of the little babies, the 3-year-old, and the neighbors from Tennessee are here, and I looked at my house, and it's torn up from the water damage. I really need to clean my house. And I thought about, you know what? That little 3-year-old could give a care about your dang house. Go to the beach. And there was something about being there and relaxing, because for many weeks, I have an Aura ring, and every day it says, looks like you didn't fully relax last night. Maybe you should take it easy, that kind of stuff. And for the first time in a month, that next day, my aura ring said I was doing all right. So you're right. I think us that live here, we are surrounded by so much beauty, the springs, the beach, the walking trails, all the things, the music festivals, the art festivals. And we're really lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
Really blessed.
Really.
And what about, are you pleased or happy with how much participation you get when it comes to Habitat for Humanity in our area?
Yeah, and I think that we have such a nice range of involvement from everywhere, from people that are snowbirds that come into town. They're like, oh, well, back home, I, volunteer with Habitat.
Wow.
So they come and seek us out, to the local business person or even just the local retired person. We get out such a wide variety of people that help out. And I think a lot of people don't even realize how they can help out. So.
And that's a good question. That's good. And that was actually going to be my next question. So as a person who's been leading this organization and doing there's always things you need. There's areas where you go, oh, we really need a little more of this. So what are some things that people hearing you, what are things that we can do to help? Because since there's so many different ways, like I told you, I'm not in my era right now where I can go pick up a hammer as much because I'm busy carting children, running a business, running a podcast. So I have to give in other ways. What are some things that people can do to help you?
Funding, of course, is always awesome and always needed. But for some people, that's not, they can't pull $100 out of their pocket or whatever. And so, but they might have, maybe they're ready to switch up their couch or something. And donating that to the Restore, the Restore exists to support our work.
Okay.
So donating those things versus putting them on Marketplace. And we all know how much we dislike dealing with people on Marketplace.
Oh, that's great.
That's a huge way that people don't realize that they can give. And, one of our huge givers is Latitude Margaritaville. So once a month, it's every, I think, second Thursday and Friday that we go up there, and they put together a list of all the homes and they save stuff for us each month. And so we go through with the truck and pick up, and as you know, that community's growing, but that's a huge impact on our store to get those donations. And anybody that gives, and we do pickups too. And we're getting ready to do, where we're going to do in the next couple months, priority pickup where people can pay a small fee to get it picked up if they want it gone right then. Or we've always done free pickups. So we'll continue to do that as well. It's just sometimes that might take a week or two scheduled out to get it. So we can do that, but they can drop it off at the Restore as well. And it's just another way for people to give. And then, of course, we have committees, so we have our board of directors, but then we also have several committees. The Restore committee, we're always looking for people with experience and stuff in different areas. Everybody can bring something to the table, but retail type experience, it would be great to have somebody on there. We're missing that person right now. And then we have a construction committee, we have a volunteer committee, we have a resource and PR committee. So we have several committees that people can get involved too. And then we just started this a couple of years ago. We have what's called a homeowner closet. So, as you know, the families, they're struggling. They haven't had affordable housing. No. And so if they're maybe they're down to 2 glasses. And here they get this nice home, but yet they're bringing that ratty blanket that's needs to be thrown away. Or the last 2 glasses they've got that they just keep washing because they, so we have a homeowner closet, and they're not things that you would, typically get at the Restore. You could, but we don't do things like forks and things like that. But if it's like glasses set, small appliances, nice bedding for a queen or twin or whatever, we do have that. And what we try to promote that a lot. I know CPAR helps us a lot at Christmas time each year. They'll do the tree, and we have a QR code where you can go on to our Amazon wish list for that. And so they can pick out a small throw rug or, like I said, the bedding set or whatever. And then the homeowner, before they close, they get to go in and they can pick out so much stuff to kind of help them get started.
This is amazing. I am blown away because I'm embarrassed to tell you that as much as I know about Habitat for Humanity and have for a long time, I don't know why I didn't connect about the restore, because I've seen the restore, but it didn't connect with me because I'll be honest with you, when I give away furniture and stuff like that, because I never sell furniture, I just give it away. I don't sell clothes. I don't do any of that stuff. I just give them away. I just let them bless somebody else. And so I would like call and just get somebody to pick it up from like one of the stores that help people with recovery. And so I didn't even think about Habitat for Humanity. I also didn't think about that you have a homeowner's closet. I mean, this is great stuff so that everybody, if you can't, this is what I want people to hear. I think a lot of times people think you got to give in a big way, but all the little ways that people give add up.
Absolutely.
And what I also don't think people realize, what it does to the heart of the giver. It is magical. It is. And because it is so important to me, and I know how good you feel when you give, I don't understand why the whole world doesn't give. I don't get it, because something happens inside of you when you step outside yourself and you give to somebody else. But the idea that you can give in these ways is so exciting to me. So I want to really emphasize that to people. That's super cool.
It is.
So how do y'all organize who's going to come help build? Who does that? You have a committee that does that too?
No, really. We get, whether it be a business, individuals, they will often reach out to us.
Okay.
So, and then it can come help build. Some of them put groups together. It's a great team building activity.
Yes, it is. I think we need to do it again.
Yeah. So they reach out to us. So, and we're fortunate too that we get a lot of support from the bases as well now too. So they come out at least once a month. But we have them, and then and like I said, then we have our committees and different things. Donating materials for the home sometimes too, if it's not. We always take construction materials, whether it be used or new, at the restore. But sometimes some things are a good fit for the house. And actually, if it goes to the restore and it looks like it's a good fit for a home, they will give us a call and say, hey, did you order? We just did that this morning. They got some new lights in. And the person had ordered the wrong lights, and the person that they ordered it from said, don't bother shipping them back. It was probably more expensive to ship them back.
Yeah.
Send them the right thing. So the gentleman brought in like 8 lights, beautiful new chandelier type lights.
Wow.
And so they're at the restore. And so we called our person that does our electrical stuff, and he's like, yeah, we might be able to use those in the homes in the village. So
that's cool. So that reminds me of something else. So the houses are different areas, right? Or different places. And how do you determine where you're going to put a house? Is it just availability of land?
It is. So that's another way of giving. Sometimes people don't think about that, but if they have land sitting there, land is a huge expense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We had a lot of land donated after Hurricane Michael.
Wow. Okay.
But it's gone now.
Yeah.
So the last few lots of land that we've gotten have been from municipalities. But we do need more land and to be able to build more homes. So right now we had 2 donated lots and one that we had to buy, which consists of our first Habitat Village that we're doing out in Callaway. So that will have 15 families.
So it's going to be because the ones that I've seen have been like there's maybe 2 or 3 in an area, and then you're in another area. That's amazing.
So, and when you were talking about the Carters too, the day that we broke ground on the Habitat Village, everything was ready to go, and we did a groundbreaking. It happened to be the day that Jimmy Carter was getting buried. And so we did some special words to him, but obviously we never knew that was going to tie in that way.
I know.
Sometimes, things just happen like that.
I love it when life works that way. Yeah, when I was, it's funny, the things that are really important to us. So for whatever reason, I love people that are humanitarians. I absolutely have a place in my heart for people that their whole life is about service, and they're thinking about what can they do in the life of another. And Jimmy Carter was always one of those kind of people to me. So one of my things on my bucket list, like I said, was to go hear him teach a Sunday school class, and found out, I think I saw it online or something. I called a couple of friends. I said, y'all, I'm thinking I want to go see Jimmy Carter. And they said, oh, we'd love to go. So we went and spent the night in our car. because you have to get in line. You have to go. We got a hotel room, but when we went to the register, they said, oh, no. The hotel said, no, you have to go get in the line. They give you a number. You better not leave. And that way you have a spot in the sanctuary. So we went to Walmart and got some pillows and slept in the car. Well, we didn't sleep. We mostly stayed awake in the car all night, and we're able to get into the church and see him and meet him and Rosalind and stuff like that. But this is what's so amazing about it, about taking opportunities as they're given to you. That was the last time he's taught. That was the last time he taught. He ended up hitting his head or something, having an accident. Yeah. And then he never taught again. If I had not taken that opportunity, I would never sing that. And it was one of the most rewarding moments of my life. It was a Baptist church. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble for what I'm about to say. I'm a little Jesus-loving girl, hippie loving, love the whole world. So this Baptist church, in I think Plainsville, Georgia, something like that. And there in that church sat people of all kinds. I mean, every color imaginable, every gender situation. I mean, gay kids, trans kids. Different people of all nations. I mean, in a Georgia church, a Baptist church. And it was the most beautiful thing for me to see all those people in one roof under Jesus, worshiping and celebrating together. And it gave me just hope for humanity, because I always want all God's kids to feel welcome in this world. And it's my job to do that. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And I'll never forget that. It will go down in my life's history as one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. And
today, there's things that are going on in the world.
Yeah.
That sometimes make it difficult for us to have strong faith in humanity.
Yeah.
And there's often times that I reflect on that, how I get to see that every day.
You do get to see it. Yeah. And there's a saying in AA, I used to hear my husband say it all the time, that you can only keep that which you give away. You can only keep that which you're willing to give away. And that's what Habitat for Humanity. Those of us that have homes, I mean, I kind of take it for granted. I'm from a construction family, a real estate family. And although there was times in my life when I was broke as a joke and didn't have any money, couldn't pay my bills, couldn't pay for the water, any of the things, but I've always had a home. I've never been without a home. And I think we take that for granted, that there's so many people out there that would love the security and the trust of having a home, a place called home. Yeah. And y'all are just trying. What would you say I kind of know what it is because I read it, but in your heart, what would you paraphrase and say your mission statement is for Habitat for Humanity here?
So not our actual, but...
And whatever, you can tell me the actual, or you can tell me in your heart what it means to you or what it is.
Yeah. So our mission is, through God's love, bringing people together to build homes, hope, and community. Yeah.
Gosh, that makes me so happy. That makes me feel good. And speaking of feel good, I probably need to thank a few more sponsors before we go. Okay, so I am so grateful. I'm so happy you're here, Angela. This is making my heart so happy. I mean, so happy. And I'm so glad that you're here with me sharing the message of hope and how we can give to people. And I've learned some things like about, doing the donation to Restore. I'm going to start picking up the phone for Restore when I start decorating and stuff. So, but I also want to take a minute to really thank from my heart the people who make this possible. Alicia Med Spa, who I actually went to this morning because I was feeling a little gnarly, and I got an IV. They do IVs to give you vitamins and all that stuff because I didn't have time to be sick. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm so grateful for them. I'm super, super grateful for Minutes and Miles, which people see me doing my little videos working out. I have those cute little chicken legs outfits, and I love them so much. They're so much fun. I'm really grateful to these people. I'm grateful to Gypsy Willow. I'm grateful to Amore Boutique. They are so precious. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in my message of love and kindness and joy for all God's kids. And that's how we make it happen. So, Angela, before we go today, is there anything that we haven't said or we haven't touched or any kind of message you want to put out to the world of Happy Ass?
I think just that everybody can get involved. Like
Yeah.
there's a role we can all play, as you put it, in humanity. Like there is. And one of the awesome things about Habitat for Humanity is that there's a hands-on role that you can play. And you can also see, sometimes you can't see the benefit in the end, but we do, like for people that volunteer on the build site, and we can anybody, we do invite them to home dedications. So you get to see the end result, and we don't always get to see that either. So it's very rewarding. So
Well, I'm going to add one more thing. So just memory came to my mind. One of the last home dedications that I went to, there were children there. And to see those kids go into their room and say, "This is my room."
Yeah.
I'm losing it again, but I lost it.
yeah,
I lost it.
it's
'Cause
one of the best parts is to
It
ask them, "Did you pick out your room yet?"
Yeah.
And they can't wait to show you.
Yeah, it's really cool. So if you want to be a part of this loving, giving community, please get in touch with Angela, the lovely CEO of Habitat for Humanity. I will promise you, if you spend your life trying to figure out how you can help, how you can nourish, and be generous to God's kids, you will have a life that's so happy you cannot stuff it down, no matter how hard you try. Oh, I mean, like I always do. Be sweet, y'all.